Matt Man, the 21-month resubscription, lots of shots. Gosh, the stupid thing doesn't remember. Oh, that's weird. So this stupid thing, it's technically maximized right now, but it's not actually maximized on my monitor. It's just every time we start a league, I'm gonna have to unmaximize, remaximize. What just a quality piece of software. Turn 1 Aether Vial. Can't pass that up, right? We have all 4 of our colors of mana here. Colors of mana. I mean, I don't really understand the right now part of your statement there, AK Cracker. That's literally always been the format. It's always do whatever you want, play something proactive. I have the other border because my hex border apparently never got saved to my Dropbox folder, and Windows can't access Linux partitions. Which is, oh, I gotta update the Stream Decker. Thank you. Let's do that now. All right. Inquisitor Exarch. That's actually pretty good, right? That's the one that lets us gain health. I mean, it depends on what you're looking for out of a Magic format. Like, if you're looking for a format where you can give yourself an edge in every possible matchup with a given deck, that's really not what Modern is. Like, there is more matchup variance in Modern than there is in, like, Standard and probably even Legacy, if we're being honest. This will... Knight of Saint Draft. Stream Decker should be updated already, Tom. Tribal Zoo, as promised. Add BBEs if you want. Alright, we'll get Tribal Zoo in there. Jacob, inside voice button. Full Metal Adept, here's to make up for the dumpster fire of a league with Tron. I'll try to donate towards something better next time. Thanks, Full Metal Adept, I appreciate that. Sorry, just Jake and Stream Decker and a lot. I appreciate that. We'll get that in on we'll get something sweet in there. In related news, I just got off the phone setting up an afternoon babysitter for next week, so we will have less background noise and less me running off resolving children's issues in the middle of the stream starting next week, which I am excited for. I'm excited. My kids are wonderful, but they are loud. They are certainly loud. Appreciate everyone hanging out here this afternoon. Beck quit his day job to babysit the kids. My sub count has bumped up a lot in the past few months as we have added more stream time, more time to the stream. So my goal
is to invest some of that money that the stream has made back into the stream, so we can make the stream better. I'm very grateful to everyone out there that has subscribed. Y'all have made this grow far more than I ever thought it could. I never expected this to be more than a hobby, but it's definitely, we're at a little over 800 subs right now, or sub points, I guess. There's less than that in terms of unique subscribers, but the way Twitch does the math on the sub point thing. I think I want to hold this Eternal Witness to rebuy this Inquisitor Exarch this turn. Sure. Yeah, that's a Magic Online feature. Let's call it a feature. There's a Path to Exile on top of my deck. Probably should have fetched in response there. I don't know if it really matters. That's true, Griff. It's a Bug Count Infinity with the bits. No kid, quiet streams coming soon. Yeah, they are. You're not wrong. And I actually have a compressor on my microphone right now. So when they go over a certain decibel, they're actually quieter, believe it or not. I saw on YouTube this morning someone asked what GG Arena was, so I was going to give my opinion, so I played for about a week. Well, Big Rig Vig, you got to remember, one, you're under an NDA, so you shouldn't be talking about it, and two, the current drop rate, or whatever you want to call it, for the game almost certainly isn't what the final drop rate's going to be, right? Like, part of games being in alphas and betas is working on the details of that kind of thing. Yeah, basically, for those that aren't audio inclined, what a compressor does is whenever the audio goes above a certain decibel, the compressor takes the volume and pushes it down in a ratio to the volume. That being said, I am worried about, like, the economic model of the game is like a big deal, especially for someone like me that wants to like play the game and like have access to a lot of decks, because like I won't be able to borrow cards from like traders or a site like that if there's no trading in the game, right? Is YouTube revenue significant? The YouTube revenue exists. The bulk of the money that comes from streaming is not related to YouTube ads. It's from people supporting the content directly via subscriptions, mostly subscriptions and cheers and bits. I've got it pretty harsh because the kids get pretty loud in the background. It's like 20-1 once it gets above the threshold. All right, so I'm gonna trade. Interesting. Okay, so I think I'm gonna throw Eternal Witness in front of here. Am I? Yeah, I'm gonna throw Eternal Witness in front of here. I think that's fine. All right, and they're bolting me. So this was effectively a gain 2 after gaining 2 here. So this Venser will get to blink the Inquisitor Exarch and gain us 2. Do you have problems with people claiming your YouTube videos or them getting demonetized? A lot of demonetization issues. Their algorithm's really crappy, but whenever I dispute them, they like immediately remonetize them within a couple of days. So I think we're still dead here. I'm pretty sure we're still dead. We needed to draw spells at some point this league. Venser is a slow Kiki that we actually cast. I mean, within a couple of days is pretty immediate for a large company. It's pretty immediate. And it's really weird, like,
sometimes they demonetize all of my videos a day after they're published, every video for like a week and a half, and then other times they just don't demonetize any of them. So I don't know if like people are manually flagging them or if it's their algorithm, but every time I've ever disputed getting flagged, they've always reinstated my video. So I'd assume we're just dead here. I'd assume we're just dead here. Why don't I swing for 3 first? I didn't think about that. Good suggestion, though. I appreciate that. Definitely didn't think that we were going to bounce it to untap it. Did you poop again? Or is that residual poop I'm spelling? You pooped again. All right. Just non-stop shit show. I'll be right back. Oh, uh-oh. Hopefully we've lost a bunch of our sideboarding time. Whoops. We have a bunch of sideboard cards here. This matchup's actually probably not that bad for us. Am I supposed to keep the Stonehorn Dignitaries to like lock them out in 2 directions? Oh, no, Declan's up. I'm excited for the babysitter starting next week.
The back on, and go take, back on, and go
Twitch, it's not quite daycare. Daycare is astronomically expensive.
Go take.
However, college kids to come over a couple afternoons a week and play with the kids, that's not too expensive.
Go take.
No, we're watching Chuggington right now. It's not even the diaper changing that needs to happen. Like, I just want someone to like play with the kids upstairs, you know? Just like, because they're loud. Like, they're mostly entertained. There just needs to be someone there to make sure they don't kill themselves or each other. Hey, Furling306 with that brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much and welcome. This is definitely fetching a shockland here, right? Just Noble Hierarch. And then hopefully... I'm going to vet the mana bases, he says. I'm going to vet the mana bases. He says, why is there no Temple Garden in this deck? I gave the mana base a glance. Apparently we're getting a breeding pool. All right. Chat, I need to write an article about building mana bases in Modern. Maybe, I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do that this week, because it's gonna be a long, complicated article, but like, there's a lot of like really little details that I've realized that people miss when building mana bases, because like, I see a lot of mana bases in the decks that I get set, and believe it or not, I know some real piles make it onto the actual stream, but I reject donation deck lists on the regular. And like, yeah, for the third Hallowed Fountain, like, gosh. And like, getting mana bases, really, yeah, split all the shocks. Just put ones across the board and start there. It's a good rule of thumb. It sounds really simple, but like you would be surprised at the number of mana bases we get that are just like missing one of the 3 shock lands in a 3-color mana base.
Cookies.
Can you check your mic? What's wrong with the mic? Be more specific. Be more specific. What's wrong with the microphone? Would love a basic land. Oh yeah, this thing resizes every time. I don't know, if there was stuff over there, it would be a big deal, but it's really not a big deal. Mic sounds fine, thank you. Hey, Scraft, with that 2-month 3 subscription. Thanks a lot and welcome back. I appreciate the continued support. Thanks for re-upping there. Yeah, I think Bloodbraid Elf is more impactful in Modern than Jace as of right now. I think Bloodbraid Elf does more of what you want to be doing in Modern, which is generating tempo and creating board presence, and Jace does not generate tempo or create board presence on average. I have some bad news for Venser fans. I think there might be a reason why he never gets used. I'm clipping at the top end, like it's cutting out. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to what the issue is. Hey, Superco, with that 2-month resubscription. Thanks a lot for re-upping the Twitch Prime support. I do appreciate that. Do you want to sit behind me? How about if we set you up on this chair right here, next to it? Can we set you up on this chair? On your own chair? Look at that, Jake's very own chair. Do I just path this? Probably. Hey, Adarkar79 with the brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much and welcome. It's going in and out. Oh, that's not the compressor. That's the noise gate. Is the microphone cutting out while I'm talking? Because there should be quiet while I'm not talking. There should be quiet while I'm not talking. There are part of the reason is my noise gate. I did have to set up a new noise gate when I reconfigured everything, so the noise gate might not be opening soon enough if you're missing the bottom end of my voice. The mic's fine. All right, I'm gonna open the noise gate and I'll have it pick up a little bit sooner. Do it a little bit lower open threshold. So what a noise gate does, for people who are unaware, is the noise gate, when I'm not talking, it turns the microphone off. Turns the microphone off when there's no noise. Leyline, Land, Noble Hierarch, yep. Noise gate seems fine, yeah. People, Vivid Zeus with the 2-month resubscription. Thanks for re-upping your Twitch Prime, sending your Amazon Fun money this way again this month. I do appreciate that. What's the price point on Pauper deck requests? I'm not sure that I want to add more Pauper deck requests. There aren't enough hours in the day to play all of the decks that I really want to play. And like, it's tough to get in the modern and legacy that I want to play. We have 2 Pauper deck requests that I was a live audio engineer. God, that's rude. I was a live audio engineer for all of the year. I put myself through college as an audio engineer, working in small theaters and dive bars. I don't have the ability to listen to my playback very accessibly without like pausing the stream and taking a bunch of minutes. So I'll have to do that later. I think I want to just get this in while there's no skull cracks. Because remember, even though my opponent can't skull crack us, they could skull crack themselves to prevent our health gain. It's fine. I mean, I listened to it earlier and it seemed like it was fine. Hey, Kill Art with that brand new Twitch Prime subscription. Thank you very much and welcome. I do appreciate that. So this is kind of an interesting point. Do I want to play Noble plus Hold Path, or do I want to jam the Eldrazi Displacer? Why you sneak an Eternal Command into the show? I guess it is kind of Eternal Command, isn't it? It's like Bant Eternal Command. Yeah, I think Noble Path's a little bit more conservative. It also gives us another trigger off this Goblin Guide, which is nice, because they're going to attack in and then we'll path their nerd. It also potentially sets us up for a Cryptic Command next turn if we get fortunate. Hey, there's a Yavimaya Coast, sweet. So let's path this nerd. Yeah, when you get the lock set up, there's really nothing better, right? Backup Leyline. Do I want to play the back? I probably just want to play this, right? So it's like, I guess I could field here first. Hey, Death Panda with the brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much and welcome. I do appreciate that. I'm just gonna take them off their white source here. Just like get another island into play this turn while I have the mana available to do so. What are the Displacer targets? Just the guides. We have Eternal Witness. We have Lone Missionary. There's a deck list on your screen. You can take a peek at it. Eternal Command was originally, I believe, a Sultai or Temur deck that a Japanese professional popularized at like World Circle like 2012 or 2013. Yeah, and it like the Eternal Command shell focuses on putting Aether Vial on 3 and then Eternal Witness plus Cryptic Command locking. Yeah, it was Temur, right? Yeah, Shota. Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right. I know some of the details. Some of them get muddled, but I know thereabouts what it's supposed to be, right? All right. Am I Cryptic Command bouncing this Goblin Guide? It feels like I might be, chat. It feels like I might be in the territory of Cryptic Command bounce this Goblin Guide. What's going on, Paracel? So I think I actually want to end step bounce this rather than do it now, so that way I can Cryptic counter it next turn. Like when they replay it, just like counter it. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and fetch a Shockland tapped here. We're down to 5. I'm hoping a lot of these burn decks actually just can't interact with Leyline of Sanctity, so I'm hoping Leyline's gonna let us steal this. So let's return. Get a permanent, draw a card. That's a lot of lands. All right, that's a Venser. He doesn't do anything yet though, right? So I'm just gonna pass back here. We'll Cryptic this Goblin guy. We'll probably get a second. I should have attacked them for 1, right? Really no reason not to. Oh, crap! That... Mistakes were made, chat. Mistakes were made. Jake shrieked and I bumped my hotkey and, yep. Yep, alright, I mean, look at that. We drew... It's just like we drew it up. It's just like we intended. Just like we intended. I knew there was a land on top of my deck and I just needed to get it cleared off. It's fine. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Alright, let's Eternal Witness is gonna get back. I'm gonna get back Path to Exile here. Well, I could get back Lone Missionary. Yeah, definitely getting back Lone Missionary. Missionary, mission is scary. Start a revolution, polluting the airwaves. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Is this game over or is this game over, chat? A better clock is probably the answer to what does fairies need. You're pathing my Lone Missionary. That's rude, opponent. I liked my Lone Missionary. Oh man. So I can play this Venser. Can I hold up Cryptic Command while I activate him? I believe I can. I believe I can. Yeah! Yeah! Alright. After Tron was quickly defeated by aggressive red decks, Venser Vial. I'm not an expert on this deck, but so far our results point towards it being unbeatable in the most literal sense. Just Venser confirmed unbeatable. How's everyone doing today? Everyone have a good weekend. Happy Monday, folks. Everyone's starting the week off right. Yeah, this is an $8 league. I mean, our burn opponents certainly wouldn't have conceded to a Jace. They conceded to the Venser. Venser confirmed better. Calc 2 is the tough one. That's the scary one in the sequence. Do some complex integration there. I mean, is this a keep? Why is there a Ghost Quarter in our deck? Why is there a Ghost Quarter but there's no Temple Garden? Oh, Hogland, vet the mana bases. Vet the mana bases, he says. Vet the mana bases, he says. Oh, jeez.
Just, yep. How many ghost quarters are in this deck? Of course, there are multiple ghost quarters and no temple guardian in this deck. Of course, there are multiple ghost quarters. Oh, jeez. I guess I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna describe this third Hallowed Fountain to the bottom. Shock in breeding pool. They buried a Jace, creeping to probably some kind of Grixis control.
Big, more, big, more, big, more, big, more, big.
I hate everything. I hate everything. I just want the record to reflect that I enjoy nothing. Oh, this is my fault. I need to look at these decks. God, can we even... Oh, I need to be more picky about what we have going on. Large amounts of money. Here you go, bud. All right. At least that's true. We are in an $8 league and we've already won one match, so like we're getting $2 back. The one thing that I've learned the most about looking at other people's deck lists is that other people enjoy casting their spells a lot less than I do. Like, when I make changes to people's deck lists that submit them, the biggest thing I change is not only cleaning up the lands that are in the mana base, but just cutting spells and adding more lands. And to be fair, this is effectively a 4-color deck, right? Like, it's effectively a 4-color deck that can't fetch for its 4th color. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people like look at these colorless cards and they don't think about them in terms of like needing that thing. It's like, do you understand that it's effectively a color? What would you recommend as a guide for learning to build mana bases correctly? I don't actually know that, and I should not paying attention. I should have fetched a second breeding pool here because we have a Cryptic Command in our hand. I need to write a mana base guide, I think that's something that would be useful. Like Frank Karsten has a like mana math article that's I'm so off of it. Frank Karsten has a mana math article that like talks about like the approximate number of pips you want in every deck that you're playing, but there really isn't a deck where building mana bases in Modern is more complicated than any other format, because like building mana bases in Legacy is really easy. You just put in fetches and dual lands and then you decide, do you want to beat Wasteland or Blood Moon? Whereas like Modern, not only do you need to think about how many pips do each of your, like how many blue sources, how many green sources, how many white sources do you have in your deck, you also need to think about how many fetch lands am I playing?
How many shock lands am I playing? How many fast lands can my deck afford to play? Is my deck a deck that's interested in playing creature lands? And like learning to identify the correct answers to those questions is very difficult. And there's so many different decks in Modern that have so many little details that go into them that there isn't just this cut and dry you should always do this or you should always do this based on X, Y, and Z factors. There's a lot of nuance that goes into it, basically. Nah, I think that's too much credit. I think people have always been kind of obsessed with throwing too many. Like, I can't tell you the number of people over the years that, like, cut random lands that made colored mana from my Kiki Core deck and added Gavany Townships and Keswick Wolf Runs to it. It's like, do you understand that your deck has green-white, double green cards, triple red cards, and you're, like, cutting lands for other random things? It's like, do you understand what's going on here? Yeah, how many, like, Gavany Township, how many, like, you shouldn't cut a dual land to add a Gavany Township to your deck. That's basically a spell land that you should be. There's a reason Storm fell off the face. And so one of the things that's really kind of interesting about the Jace Bloodbraid unbanning is I think there's a lot of people that are going to misidentify what's going on in the face of, likely ad nauseam on the opponent's side of the table. I think there's a lot of people that are going to miss what's actually happening with the Jace unbannings because a lot of the changes in the format started happening before the Jace and Bloodbraid Elf unbans even happened. Like, the format in the wake of humans being a deck was being pushed towards more fair interactive decks before Bloodbraid Elf and Jace ever got introduced to the format. And then once Jace and Bloodbraid Elf got introduced to the format, it got pushed even further towards these fair decks being the decks that people wanted to play. To play with the unbans. Unsure. It depends on like what sideboard you're playing. I'd probably be on the Leyline of Sanctity plan. So this Noble Hierarch does mean we get to have a Cryptic Command next turn, which is nice. No, Storm is in general very bad against fair magic decks, on average. Am I just casting this Kitchen Finks this turn? I think I am. I think I'm just casting this Kitchen Finks. They're probably not comboing us till next turn. Like, they don't have any Lotus Blooms or anything suspended. So I'll just, like, get my clock on the table. No, Storm in general isn't that great against the decks that are highly interactive. Like, decks like Jund and Jeskai tend to chew Storm up and spit Storm out. Storm was actually, if you didn't read my article on Gathering Magic, I talked about data and Magic in the Pro Tour, and Storm was one of the worst performing popular decks to Pro Tour. And that wasn't by mistake, it just gets chewed up and spit out by the decks that are good. I think MTGO players should be scared of Magic Arena. I think Magic Arena is probably a year or more away from a stable standard release, and it's probably 5 or more years away from a modern release, if they ever have a modern release. I think Tess and Ant are both garbage decks. I think Ant is probably slightly less garbage than the other one, but I don't think either of them are particularly good. Hey, be nice to your brother. I want to take this to 3, I think. Yeah, and like, a lot of Magic is about that. Again, like, even when you're winning a ton at Magic the Gathering, you're not actually making that much money. So like, if you're not enjoying the deck you're playing, you should just be doing something else. So you should find the deck you're interested in playing. Alright, so Elvin, I'm gonna go ahead and time you out here. So what Elvin did there is what a lot of people do in other Magic forums, and it's something we don't allow here. If you want to tell me a matchup that you think is X, Y, or Z in a particular direction, you need to just tell me why. You need to tell me why the matchup is good. You need to say Jeskai or Jund is 50-50 because, and then articulate yourself. Just saying, in my experience, it's good. I don't know what your experience is. Like, you could have 800 results logged, and it's irrelevant. I'm not going to understand why the matchup is what it is if you don't explain yourself to me. Gotta think about it and talk about it. If you want to talk in chat and you want to say something like that, just like, you know, say it's the Jund matchup is 50-50 because, and here's my articulation in the other direction. In my experience, Jund is good against Storm because it plays a lot of efficient disruption in terms of 1 mana discard and 1 mana removal, and cards like Goyf and Bloodbraid Elf are very good at closing games out after you've disrupted the Storm player. Jund isn't probably as bad of a matchup to the degree that Death Shadow is, for instance, because they don't have counterspells and their Tarmogoyfs are slightly smaller than Death Shadows, but it's bad for similar reasons. I don't even want to cast this Venser, right? We just got like a bunch of blanks in our hand. Hopefully this Kitchen Finks is going to run the distance here on the back of this Cryptic Command. Yes, yeah, that's a good articulation as well. This your answer is done. Are you suggesting non-blue legacy? There's a bunch of non-blue legacy decks. Turbo Depths is a great non-blue legacy deck. If you're looking to play something fair, Dead Guy Ale and Jund are both reasonable fair decks. There's a good one. There's a good one. Waffles is great. I wish I could give you like some kind of thumbs up in chat for smart, funny comments like that. I'm not actually a big fan of decks like Maverick or Death and Taxes and Legacy. I think Jund and Dead Guy Ale are much better choices. I think relying solely on permanent-based disruption that doesn't come down till turn 2 is very slow in Legacy, and I'd much rather be playing a deck that has access to discard spells. My opinion on aggro loam and legacy. I think for one, and this is kind of me being pimpy, but I hate that people call that deck aggro loam because it's not aggro loam. It's not an aggro deck by any reasonable definition of an aggro deck. It is very much a control deck. That being said, I think it's okay. I don't know. Like if you draw your Mox Diamonds, the deck's really good. Hey, Bud Jinxed, re-upping that Twitch Prime support for 2 months. Thank you very much and welcome back. I do appreciate that. Yeah, it's four color loam's a good one. So we actually have the soft lock set up here. So for those that were asking what our lock is, we get to put this Eternal Witness into play here. And then Eternal Witness picks up Cryptic Command. And now Cryptic Command can counter a spell and bounce Eternal Witness. And then Eternal Witness can rebuy the Cryptic Command again. Yeah, aggro loam, the deck once upon a time the archetype used to be more aggressive. Maybe I'm supposed to path this at their end of turn actually. I was probably supposed to path my own wall there just to have more mana. No, once upon a time aggro loam was a deck that played Seismic Assault and Countryside Crusher and like Tarmogoyfs and like actually beat people down with an aggressive stance. That's not what the deck does anymore though. I don't know what Hog Smasher is. I don't know what Hog Smasher is. We might have to mute my microphone for a second because I'm going to go tell my child he can't go upstairs. He's very upset. We're muted on purpose. If I'm muted, that means it's very loud in my house. Have I mentioned this is going to be the last week without an afternoon babysitter? I'm looking forward to the afternoon babysitter. I'm looking forward to the afternoon babysitter. She's going to take... He's actually upset because he can't play upstairs right now because his mom's not home yet. There's no other adults here. So thanks everyone for hanging out. Have some brief moments of silence. RIP children. Anything about Eldrazi decks in Legacy and big red decks with prison elements? They seem to be placing higher in the challenges recently. I like the red prison decks. I'm not really a fan of the Eldrazi decks. I think the Eldrazi decks lack consistency and closing power. Their good draws are fantastic, but their average draws are kind of mediocre. The subs and donations have paid for the afternoon babysitter. Can we get a Jake Declan soundtrack for the memories next week? I could Cryptic bounce the Unlife. The problem is our opponent could combo us in response, so I think I want to wait. Max the Man with the brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much and welcome. I appreciate that. 200. I think I timed out trying to beat someone through that one time. That sounds right. Yeah, they suffer from that issue as well, Sylvan Library. Just when you don't have any card selection, you have to play 24 lands in your deck. It's just not, you're bound to flood, right? All right, so one of the things we're going to do when we sideboard in this matchup that's important that I feel like a lot of people miss on is that you should not board in Leyline of Sanctity against the opponent's deck. When the opponent's deck combos, they draw their entire deck and they will have at least one Echoing Truth. So, I understand that Bloodbraid Elf slots naturally into red-green Ponza because it's like a popular red-green deck in Modern that people like to play because Twitch chat loves destroying lands. Like, if there's one thing Twitch chat loves, it's blowing up people's lands. The issue is, I don't feel like Bloodbraid Elf solves the problems that deck has. So, like, the Ponza's deck's problems are the opponent gets on the board and develops a board presence. Hey, Woken Murderface, 9797 with that brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much and welcome. I do appreciate that. You ever play a deck with Eidolon and Jace Unraveler Secrets? I can't say that I have. Can't say that I have. Land destruction, just the mention of it gets me that right. Look. Look, as someone who frequently watches Magic the Gathering streams, if you watch Magic the Gathering streams, you enjoy blowing people's lands up. That's why Panza is popular. I actually really like Infect. We've played Infect once before on stream, and we had okay results with it. We actually have Infect in the donation queue again coming up. I like the deck. It has a very fast clock with combo kills, and it has random protection through Force of Will and Daze. No, I would not play Legacy Doomsday. I think that deck was bad before they banned Top, and since they banned Top, it's become much worse. Yeah, Bob, I'm planning to stream for a while today. Christy should be home from work. I think she said she actually doesn't have a late meeting today, which is awesome. So she should be home somewhere in the next half hour or so, hopefully. And then I'm planning to do another league or two after this. Donation queue gets you to the donation queue. See it all forever. The big buck $20 donation. This is towards the red white prism list I sent you earlier. Cheers. You sent me that on Twitch, right? You sent me that on Twitch? Yes, you did. All right, got it. In the future, please make sure you drop the link in the donation, so that way it's harder for me to miss it if it's linked in the donation. All right, so just playing this in passing, I think here. Asking about Stoneblade in Modern is a little bit too, or Stoneblade Legacy is a little bit too general. Like there's a lot of variation in possible Stoneblade lists. I didn't get a green source because we have Cryptic Command in our deck, and I have this Aether Vial in play to floop the Eternal Witness out here later. So. They're paying a health to put a counter on Dreadship Reef. Deal. I don't know. I think Eternal Command in general is just really clunky. So, I don't think, like, this deck certainly has some clunk to it, but I don't think it's that much worse than, like, what Eternal Command does. Sounds good, Bob. Bob, do you have that list in text form? Do you have that list in text form? So I can import it, so I don't have to manually click through all the cards by chance? You gave it to me on Goldfish or text somewhere on Discord. So if they don't kill us here, we actually get to Rec Sage this Lotus Broom, which is sweet. Bob, if you disconnect and reconnect, you'll be able to pop back in there. So, am I dead? Alright, so opponent took our Rec Sage instead of our Eternal Witness for some odd reason. We get to push this to 3, put this in, pick this up, and cast it. So, I feel like the opponent made... Okay, I guess I can't do both of these, but like, if I shattered this, they shouldn't be able to do anything else this turn, so that seems fine. I feel like my opponent is like questioning their life decisions. Just like wondering what they're doing. Yeah, the Reflector Mage is in my deck because I literally just don't have better sideboard cards. The sideboard of this deck is kind of loose, like the mana base. That's funny, they're using it to pump a thing into there. Good use of it, I guess.
I got you.
Not that I've seen Ripson. Never seen that before. This is a May, so I'm gonna say no, don't blow up my Aether Vial. Attack for 3, and then if we don't die next turn, we get to put this into play, and then have a pretty good shot at winning here. So, you don't... Leyline in this matchup is only useful at stopping their Thought Seizes. It doesn't actually stop their combo, because when the Ad Nauseam deck combos off, they draw their entire deck, which includes Echoing Truth.
Thanks, Bob. Yeah, Eidolon's fine in this matchup. It doesn't stop their combo fully, but it slows them down. Sorry for the mostly quiet stream this afternoon. Well, kinda quiet bursts. My wife just messaged me and told me she's leaving work now, so she'll be home soon, and this will be the last week with just me here in the afternoon. So I've been fortunate enough that there are enough subscribers that I'm picking up an afternoon sitter a couple days a week, so that way the children will have someone to keep them edutained upstairs while I stream here in the afternoon. So thanks everyone for hanging out. I do appreciate it. We're gonna be the stream will be quiet off and on as the children are loud in the background, but my wife will be home probably next 20 minutes or so, and then we'll have a nice normal Just Magic stream, less children. You have 2 to 3 copies of Jason your 75 plus copies of Vendilion Click that you can court for. So you have 8 to 9 ways to take Kiki out of your hand and put it back into your deck should you draw it. So I think I think you will lose more games to the inconsistency your mana base will have trying to make Kiki castable than you will lose to drawing Kiki Jikis and having it stuck in your hand and not be able to put it back into your deck.
That's my hypothesis that I'm working on by having a Kiki Jiki that you can't cast in the Bantcord deck. That's my working hypothesis. They playing mono green devotion. They didn't choose to make red with either of these, and they've yet to play a red source. So it must be some kind of devotion shell, right? We're still playing land destruction though. That's interesting. Do they have another? Oh, is this the mono green land destruction deck that what's his name posted? It's interesting that they killed my land and not my vial there. I guess they're planning to kill my vial with the next one, maybe. Has the deck been any fun or has it been torturous? Well, believe it or not, your sideboard is really poorly built for a lot of matchups, but it's got a plan for the burn matchup. So we dumpstered burn and we actually beat ad nauseum. So like, we have a plan here. We have a plan. I don't know that it's a good one, but we're gonna try and execute it here. We're gonna try and execute it some here. Declan's watching Power Rangers right now. Mom's gonna be home very soon and then she'll take you upstairs, okay? It's a little awkward that Field of Ruin can't kill this Utopia Sprawl, so like Ghost Quarter would be much better here, but it is what it is. And that is like one of the reasons to have some Ghost Quarters over Field of Ruin is because of things like Utopia Sprawl. I don't think I really care enough to bounce the forest. It doesn't sound like something that's going to be... I don't think it's going to have that high of an impact here. So I get to do this. I get to play this. I'm going to go ahead and cast this Reflector Mage on Arbroath, cut them off with some mana. Yeah, they have a lot of mana regardless. Then we'll end step, flip this Displacer into play, and then start Reflector Mage displacing their board, I guess. I'm gonna go and attack with this. All right, I think we've reached the calm after the storm, hopefully. We got a smile. We've got SpongeBob on our tablet. Mom's gonna be home soon. It's great. It's great. You're cute, yeah. All right, and then hopefully we hit we're an Eternal Witness away from just locking them out of the game, which is sweet. Just shiggity, shiggity, shwoody. Shiggity, shiggity, shwoody. Opponent's either in the tank here or their cat is currently throwing a fit. One of the two, maybe their cat knocked their drink over on their keyboard. Casual up, 4 minutes on clock here. Just waiting on the opponent to do what they do. Come on, opponent. Come on, opponent. All right. Perhaps their children. Their children are also ready. Yes, we did, Zach. Zach Elsick, everyone. UTD Zach there in chat. I just want to flute my Displacer into play and get Displacing. Obligatory land D-hype. We did have a Plains get destroyed. Hey, Corey, thanks for the bits as well. It's okay. Shh, inside voice, buddy. Inside voice. Yeah, I agree. From what I haven't actually played Arena yet, but from what I've heard of it, the timer in Arena sounds quite excellent. You like build up extra time the more you play, so you have to like play for a bit before you get a chance to tank. I'd be pretty surprised if Jason Bloodbraid spoil Modern in any way. What Jason Bloodbraid threatened to do to the format really is no different than what Tron already does to the format. Oh, we made it to the end step. We've made it to the end step. How interested am I in MTG Arena? Not really. We don't really play Standard on this stream. I don't really have, like, there's so much sweet Modern and Legacy to play that, like, and they don't ever plan to add anything other than Standard to Arena. Like, Modern and Legacy aren't on their roadmap from what we've been told, so I don't really have a desire to pick up Standard anytime soon. Come on, opponent. And like, the opponent like clicked through here, so they're not actually gonna time out. And that's a lock, folks. And that's a lock. Yes. People talk about Arena being a threat to Magic Online in the long term. I actually think Arena is a bigger threat to Modern in the long term than it is to Magic Online. What do you think of post-unbanned Modern format? Would I sleep up or enter a tournament? If my goal was to do nothing other than win, I would play the Bloodbraid Elf Jund deck we've been playing with some small tweaks. That being said, I think it's like Modern always is. I think there's a bunch of very reasonable decks that we can play that are going to be competitive. Like, that's how Modern basically always is. You can find all of my decks linked on my Stream Decker. You can find all of the decks we've played with on my YouTube channel. On the YouTube channel, in the description of the videos, is the deck list in text form if you want to easily import it or export it. The small changes we would make, we talked about at the end of the last video that Matt and I played it, so you should definitely check that out. YouTube.com/Jeff Hoagland. You can find all my stuff there. The biggest change would be swapping the third Raging Ravine to a second Treetop Village, because Treetop Village has really been overperforming us in terms of like the resources that you have to spend to activate it. Was fantastic. No, I think Revelark's really bad. I think you don't need more clunky, grindy cards like that. Like, every card you put in your deck that costs more than 4 mana has a real cost, or more than 3 mana even. So the upside to bits as opposed to regular donations is that you get a bit badge in the chat. It also, the bits are a little bit different because the streamer knows the money is guaranteed, whereas like PayPal, people can file for chargebacks and stuff like that. Whereas if someone sends me bits, I know that that's money that I'm getting. It's guaranteed money on my part. And I've actually never had a chargeback, knock on wood, but I know it's a thing that happens to other people as well. We play lots of different decks on the stream. In fact, we mostly just play decks people send me money to play. We had a bunch of people donate right in a row to see the Polymorph deck constantly, but which is why we played it a few times. I like the Polymorph deck a lot, but there's lots of different things in the donation queue. Man, they've got Steve in their deck. Stevo Bandito here. Yeah, but that's different than a chargeback button. Me offering to send people money back because I decided I didn't want to play the deck they sent money for is different than someone being like, nah, JK, give me my money back. Nope. Yeah, they just show how much you've donated. Maybe I'm supposed to just get all blue because they're a land destruction deck, just in case they want to rain me off of things. Do I like the post-banning standard format? I haven't played the post-banning standard format. There's so much Modern to play, and Modern is really interesting and exciting, and there's so much Legacy to play, and I've been enjoying that format reasonably as well, that I just like haven't had time to play other formats. Like, if you look at the donation queue, like there's always 30 decks in there, 30 Modern and 30 Legacy, and there's 2 Pauper decks in there right now that I need to get to at some point, but like there's plenty of Magic to play that's not standard, and I just like don't have the drive to learn a new format right now. Yeah, Steve is Sakura Tribe Elder for those that are newer Magic players. STE makes the name Steve. Yeah, only those fancy Twitch employees can have 4 badges on their thing. Eternal Witness rebuy Steve, that makes sense. That makes sense. Dang it, Jacob. That is not okay. That is not okay. I was wondering why you were suddenly quiet. Thank you for tattling, Declan. He snaked the roll of paper towels out from behind me. Rude dude. What are you doing, kid? I love it when one of my kids rats the other out, right? What are you doing? What's going on over there, you see? My Cryptic Command that. It feels kind of bad because I could just path it, but I really don't. I don't want to not use my mana this turn. Am I getting guttural response? Am I about to get guttural response, chat? What a savage just has a guttural response. You know there is something to fear, ain't that the truth? And they just wanted it way more than we did, chat. Just way more than we did. Okay, this is a stupid Ghost Quarter. I get to path this before they return a thing to their hand. I can technically Ghost Quarter myself and Cryptic Command something this turn if we need to.
Shoot man, cow.
Dispel your Cryptic from out of your deck, right? You wanna play with these?
I like these.
Okay, there you go.
Whoa, drop these.
I feel like in the matches where I want the card advantage, I would rather have the higher damage. Also, like, the thing about Chandra Torch of Defiance as opposed to Chandra Pyromaster is that Chandra Torch of Defiance is a must-answer ultimate. So, like, you don't have that must-answer bit to go along with Chandra, the other Chandra, when you're plussing it, which is one of the nice parts about Chandra. Like, Chandra Torch of Defiance or Chandra Pyromaster as a planeswalker just isn't this overall looming threat. Like, yeah, it's gonna pick off some dorks, but like overall, that's like usually not gonna be enough to win the game. Technically, what if we get guttural response again? Don't do it to me. I blew up my own land to make this counterspell happen, opponent. You're not wrong. She can copy surgical. I'm probably supposed to tap the blue there. I draw another Hierarch. Ooh, Aether Vial.
Okay.
I just feel like in an aggressive deck, you'd rather have the reach she generates as well. Like Chandra Torch of Defiance is faster reach. Like, obviously, she's worse against Lingering Souls. So, like, if you're looking for a card explicitly to, like, kill Lingering Souls, like, sure, play Torch of Defiance. But honestly, there's probably better answers to Lingering Souls than that, right? I just feel like Torch of Defiance or Pyromaster doesn't offer that inevitability that I really want out of a Planeswalker. Block, I guess? You have a pump spell? Hey, Squee Goblin Naboo. Aye, Twitch Prime Fun Money. Thank you very much. And welcome back. I appreciate the continued support. Thank you. Alright, well, their deck's not doing anything. Our deck's not doing a whole lot. If we get this Venser into play next turn, we can start drawing some cards, which sounds appealing. Definitely sounds appealing. My buddy Andrew, who's on our modern player for Cincinnati, he sent me a picture of Illness in the Ranks against his Mardu deck the other day. I felt bad for him. Just like, well, sometimes they want it way more than you want it. To get my beat down on for 3 points here. Get him, Stonehorn Dignitary. Into the red zone you go. That's exactly what this card's imagined to be, right? This is a closer. Well, thanks. I'm glad you find me of some use. Thanks for the support. God. All right. Alright, so we're going to attack with this Reflector Mage. I think I'm playing this Reclamation Sage and then pathing it on their turn, just like build my own rampant growth here. So I can get Venser down to start generating card advantage with my Wall of Omens. I think that's where I'm at in my life. It's not a proud place to be, but it's where I'm at. I'm not proud of the things we're about to do, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do, right, chap? Do it yourself, rampant growth, right? If you build it, they will come. No, we're playing against mono green land destruction. I think I'm actually gonna get another island here. So like make Cryptic Command more castable if we draw it eventually. Ah, excellent. The second Venser. I think I'm still attacking with this. Like, I'll have 2 blockers back, so if they want to like trade their Eternal Witness to put, excuse me, one point of damage on the Venser, that seems fine. And Venser's like a Howling Mine here that needs to be answered at some point, right? Oh, man. Oh, man, Jess, we've got Vencers for days, chat. We got Vencers for days. I think your mom's home. Is that exciting?
Mama, hide this door. Mama, hide this door. Mama, hide this door.
Gain 7 life, search for a creature card, reveal it. Okay. Okay.
Mommy, hide this.
Wonder what they're getting here. Are they just like getting a chain of Eternal Witnesses? Hey, Elsaka. Inska maybe? Thank you. Sorry for butchering the username. Thank you for that brand new 49 month subscription. As always, subscriptions are the best way you can support my content here, so I really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hornet Queen's kind of scary. Hornet Queen's kind of scary. Okay, that might be useful at some point. So I guess I just get to blink this and then alt the Venser, right? It doesn't matter. Yeah, once the Hornet Queen's in play, we'll just start bouncing Dignitary. Yeah, the Bring to Light Scapeshift deck was sweet. That was actually a subscriber deck list, like a lot of the decks that we play. That was Trey's deck list. I liked it a lot. That might be a deck I have to play a little bit more as we get closer to Milwaukee. The deck felt really strong. So
This Venser is going to blink Stonehorn Dignitary, which means they skip their next combat step, and then we'll get to alt Venser the following turn. Yeah, sir. I don't actually check private messages while I'm streaming, but I always check them after I finish streaming for the day. I'm gonna hold this because Venser's emblem, for those that haven't seen Venser's emblem ever or in a long time, you get an emblem that says when you cast a spell, exile target permanent. So we're gonna alt Venser and then cast Venser Noble Hierarch and start exiling some permanents next turn. So hopefully they could Primal Command our Venser, right? Like they could put target non-creature permanent on top of its owner's library. That being said, like we're just gonna put another one into play and keep blinking Stonehorn Dignitary. So eventually we're gonna get an emblem. Also, like our opponent has 7 minutes and is currently down a game, so we've got that going for us. This is a Primal Command. Smells like a Primal Command. And we're gonna shuffle this Venser away since I have backups in my hand. Don't just... Is that nice out?
It's cool, but we can handle having the windows open. It's stanky down here.
It does stink, you're not wrong. Alright, that was muted intentionally, chat, for those that are wondering. Alright, so they got Eternal Witness. They'll eventually run out of those, though, right? And I do think I want to just shuffle that away, so that way we could get this other Venser. Or draw a card that's not this other Venser, sorry, is what I mean. It is going to take a while to alt the Venser, you're not wrong. That being said, I think we might be on the timeout plan at this point, if we're being honest. I have Eternal Witness, but I actually don't have enough mana to Eternal Witness plus hold up Cryptic Command. I guess I'm going to cast this Noble Hierarch, and then I do have enough mana to Eternal Witness plus hold Cryptic Command, which is nice. Be spare, have fun. Welcome to everyone that's hanging out. The stream will have less background noise the remainder of the evening since Christy's now home. Thanks for people that stuck it out through the loudness that is my children. You know, they're 3 and 4, so they're kind of rowdy. This is gonna be the last week of screaming children in the afternoons. Hit enough subscribers that we're gonna reinvest some of that money and get an afternoon babysitter a couple days a week. I think that I'm streaming. I will be uploading in 1440p to YouTube again. That is, in fact, something we're planning on doing. Ink of Grixis, Delver, and Legacy. I think it's great. I think it's one of the best decks in the format. I think the mirror is fucking miserable. And I never want to play the mirror ever. But I think, do I want to play Eternal Witness and get Cryptic Commands? Nah, probably not. I'm just gonna play this and keep out to the Stonehorn Dignitary. I'm just gonna try and time them out. I mean, what does Grixis Shadow need to adapt to? I don't feel like Grixis Shadow needs to do anything particularly special. Oh, am I getting a draw step here? That's so good for us. So I'm gonna put this Eternal Witness into play and then path this. Hopefully we draw land. Or colorless land is what I really wanted to draw there. That's actually a good question. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The problem with them... Oh, I tapped my lands wrong, right? Like I could have put this Displacer into play this turn too. So, I messed up. Sorry, chat. Is this Turbo Fog hidden inside of a Venser Vial? Yeah, kind of, in a way. So this should be in play if I hadn't tapped my Noble Hierarchs wrong. Got him. All right, sweet. Look at that. After a quick 0-3 with Tron, we are 3-1 with Venser Vial, which is this is just such a good, pure example of like why Modern is the most popular competitive format Magic has to offer. Just like you can literally just play anything you want, and if you put there's the why. And if you run a little bit good and get a couple of reasonable matches, what deck am I playing? Milwaukee? No idea. That event is really far away. I need to find a legacy deck for Cincinnati before then. There's a couple different decks I'm considering that are like on my short list for Milwaukee, but honestly, it's probably just gonna be something kind of random. Oh, you meant Cincy. What's my short list for Cincy? My short list for Cincy right now is 4-color control, blue-white miracles, Jund with Faithless Looting, and blue-red control. Playing against Mardu, it looks like. You're not wrong. We could play Legacy Lantern. That is in fact a legal deck choice. Can confirm is a legal deck choice. Yep. What's going on, Ipo? Good evening. Breeding pool here. Each Ghost Quarter just continuing to be a constant thorn in our side. Kitchen Finks is a good draw. It's castable. Holds this Dr. Peasy at bay here. Shouldn't even good in Legacy. What makes it a good choice? Having that in mind, you'd be playing Brainstorm and Force of Will. I think there's some. All right. That's for those of you that are unaware, that are new to the stream. We play Magic to have fun here, and a deck that has a very low percentage chance of beating a Blood Moon, we're just not going to play. It's just that if you ever donate for a deck, you should expect that if we play something and it feels really terrible, we're going to concede the match. Just that for everyone out there considering donation deck lists, that should be a reason. It should be an expectation for you going in. All right, so